stream. And we are now in the green, which I believe means we are streaming.
Sweet.
Just gotta make sure that it actually pops up on my screen, and yes. Okay.
Am I going to be able to see chats? I guess I have to...
Oh yeah, I'm going to open up the chat on my phone myself.
Oh. Okay. I'll probably get the picture there and everything.
Yeah, I wanted to have it like side by side. Just in case, people on the Twitter didn't see it.
Sweet.
So how's everybody doing?
What is up?
Good.
I'm waiting for the stream to finally pop up on my phone now, though.
We got 54 peeps watching. That's already a great start.
Yeah, hey everyone.
Absolutely. Hey everyone.
People actually showed up? What? Insanity.
So I'll say over here, I'm going to wave. I'm Josh. I'm the penciler.
And
Yeah.
Then the jabroni over here in the tie-dye is Nick. He's the colorist.
Hey everyone. Nice to meet you.
what do you have on the logo for your shirt?
Oh, wait, me or Josh?
You, yeah. I just noticed it.
Yeah, there are like these weird children's book logo things. Like they're at like Spencer's. They have this one is like my very first voodoo doll, if you can see.
Oh,
And
wow.
they have I think others like Let's Sacrifice Toby or Easy Bake Coven, and they have all these like cool spooky themes, and yeah, I love them so much.
Nick's a perpetual teenager for the rest of his life. Did you get a lava lamp and some, I don't know, wood on there, like lingerie or something?
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, I used to have a lava lamp growing up. I definitely should get another one. I used to love those things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They always broke so easily, though.
Oh, I know. I thought I was gonna set my room on fire by accident one time because mine was been running all night, and the morning when I woke up, it was so ridiculously hot. I was like, whoa, okay, I better unplug this before my house is gonna burn down.
Oh my gosh. My phone will not show me my stream. My own stream is being kept secret from me. Thanks,
Oh, no.
YouTube.
So if you're listening to us right now, go ahead and say hello in the chat. I'm going to look through and see who's there and see what you're saying. See if we can find something interesting to kick off this live stream with. Yeah. Greetings from London. It's 1 a.m. What is up? I am Titan 402. Thanks for joining us.
I found it.
So
Haha.
early in the morning.
Oh wow. A lot of people are already
Hey, you got a super chat.
grasping onto the title, Orgasm Girl. I love it.
Yeah. I think Trish and this book is Trisha's idea, but I found Trisha through her channel, of course, like many of you guys did, and I was like, this girl's really smart. She's got talent. She's an interesting person, and we kind of struck up a friendship. I think just talking about artwork. I think I showed you some of my work and stuff, and we just kind of go back and forth talking about different comic-related things. And you were telling me that you were having trouble finding an artist to work with because they usually flake or don't finish the project that you started. And I was like, well, I was looking to crowdfund my own thing. I was going to do a horror comic, which I still want to do. But it just seemed like an opportunity ripe for the picking, and I thought, what the hell? Let's team up and do something. So I remember you sent me about 3 different stories, and the other 2 were really good, just a little bit more mainstream. And I thought, what's Orgasm Girl about? This seems really interesting because it's something different. It's got a catchy title. It's edgy. And I liked your idea, and you came up with a good script. And so we just decided to go for it,
Yeah, we decided to go with the totally non-mainstream one to try to campaign for.
Well, I think that, you and I are in agreement when it comes to, you know, looking at comics as a creator's art form and being able to present a story in any way that we want to, whether or not we'll be judged for it, is up to the readers. But we wanted to do something that was awesome and honest and true to, like, you know, your vision, and I'll put my visuals to it, and it makes awesome colors. But you know, we can get behind an idea that maybe isn't so mainstream and maybe portrays characters in a certain way, just in the way that we want them to look, you know. And so there is, I think, a little bit of a defiant spirit behind Orgasm Girl in the way that we're, you know, approaching this Indiegogo campaign. But it's not like, I don't think it's sort of sadistic in any way, and the book itself is very, like, PG-13.
Very mild for
you know,
the first issue.
I think, you know, Trish will probably be, you know, you'd be the best person to kind of to talk about, like, what the book's about and, like, the way that we're approaching it concept-wise and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. So this is an idea I originally had as like a webcomic on the side, just like as a joke to myself. The idea is Amari is like, you know, the main character. The big girl, not the tiny one, just to clarify. She's a female boxer who is famous for winning against male opponents, even though, you know, she's female. That's a little bit unusual. And it turns out the reason why she's winning is because she's cheating by using an ability. She has a superpower to make any man she touches orgasm with the snap of her fingers. And hence the title. And scene.
And, you know, when I was reading that, I was like, I'm going to have so much fun drawing this. Like, this is not going to be boring for a second. And I think the concept of the book is really action-adventure with some, like, humor. There's a lot of humor in it. So it's definitely a PG-13 book with a lot of action and cool characters, really. And, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a blast. So you guys should really get behind this because I think it'll be one of a kind, something unique. And if it does really well, we can get it funded. We're planning on doing a series of these books. We want to do more than just one. So we got to come out of the gate strong. And we do have, like, good, you know, a good team behind it. We're all, you know, me and the other guys, Trick aside, we all know each other. We all went to school with each other at the Kubert School in New Jersey. And we're all really good friends. We all hang out, and we know each other's, you know, work ethic and style. And so we got a really tight team here. And with Trisha's stories, we're just going to marriage it together into something really kick-ass. So we just really want to get this thing funded when we launch the campaign. It's important to us. We really put a lot of time and effort into it already. And, you know, we just want you guys to get excited about something kind of weird and kind of fun and something that'll be a unique addition to your collection.
Yeah, don't you guys just ever want to have fucking fun? Because that's what the comic's all about. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's very tongue-in-cheek in some spots, and, you know, it's definitely about having a good time and making reading comics fun. It's not really anything preachy in there, you know? We want to stay away from that. We're kind of, you know, we're in the same, I think Trisha and I really came together creatively in a sense because we both sort of believe in the same ethics behind creativity and making comics. Like, we don't want to get into our own personal sort of, you know, I don't know, like opinions about things that are going on in the world necessarily. We just want to write a fun story that we enjoy, that we think that you will enjoy too. You know, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be a little bit titillating, you know? And I think we found the right mixture of all that stuff, so, yeah.
Absolutely. Especially in, like, times like these, I've been just seeing, like, in recent times, like, you know, a lot of art have been, like, shamed and belittled because I guess we're going more of, like, of a progressive kind of movement. Nothing wrong with that, but it's good to see, like, a comic like this come out that kind of exemplifies a little bit of that, and then also has, like, the little, like, you know, like, Frank Cho meme nod to it, which I really, really love, and that's what really caught my eye with this book. And I was like, without hesitation, I remember Josh asked me one day, he's like, I was thinking of having you, like, would you be interested in the colors? And you told me the idea, and I was just like, without even hesitation, I was like, hell yeah. So I'm really excited for this book.
Yeah, man, your colors are awesome, as we can see by the promo art that we've got up here now. I'm guilty of the pencils here, and our good friend of mine, of course, and Steve and Brian, Steve Fiend, did the inks on this. He did a incredible job, because my pencils were pretty loose on this. Steve nailed it on the inks, and then of course Nick did the colors and just fucking brought it home. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it looks awesome. It's perfect.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just want to say, like, what do you guys think of the promo art here? Let's hear some thoughts on that. We want to see what your response is, because we've been sitting on this thing for a while, excited to show all you guys. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've just had everything in folders, just locked down on my computer so that no one could ever see.
Yeah.
I was so anxious to post this. I'm like, oh my god, I want to post it so bad, because this cover came out really awesome. I also love the fact of, between your pencils and Steve's inks, it kind of turned the characters into some manga-esque kind of characters, and I really, really love that. And then when I saw the inks, I was kind of low-key fanboying when I'm constantly oh my god,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really I mean, it's so rare that when you collaborate with somebody, they just nail it perfect on the first try, and your colors just totally were spot on. I don't think I even said to change anything at all. It was just first time out of the gate, and it was right on the money. And Steve, yeah, he put a little bit of the manga flair on it, and I think it's exactly what it needed. It looks great.
Yeah, it blew my mind, because it's just recently my inner 13-year-old weeb, I was such a big anime dork back in middle school and high school, and recently I've been dabbling back into that, and so when I saw this, I was just oh my god, but yeah, it was a really fun piece to color. I wanted to find a palette that really popped both characters out and kind of give that gritty kind of atmosphere within the middle of the alley, and all these people are pretty messed up and on the floor.
Let's see. Travis Dakin says, "How can you make this PG-13? Is that tough? Question mark. Trisha.
I don't think it was that tough. There are a lot of jokes that you can do without crossing a certain boundary that would lead to it, having to actually show certain stuff. It's
I mean, I think, it was kind of obvious to us. I think we had to really walk a fine line here and be really careful because of the title of the comic. And I think it even, we had contemplated for a little bit, maybe changing the title up just a little bit, maybe abbreviating Orgasm Girl, maybe calling it O Girl or something like that. And we just decided to just, keep it as it is. But, when we did a script read through, when we first started out this thing, there were some things that we kind of maybe rounded the corners off a little bit so they weren't so sharp. But for the most part, Trisha's script was really, it was pretty, pretty much like it is now, which is not crossing any lines. It's not stepping on any toes. And, we want this to be something that, a young adult could read. It's not overly, I don't know, it's not overtly sexual, but it does not have sexual themes to it. So we have to be really careful about, some of the dialogue in there and some of the things that went down. But let's see. Read this if you're gay. You got me. Let's see. I should have left that one to Nick. Let's see. I miss comics being fun. That's a good sentiment. I agree with you completely.
Oh, as far as how many issues it's going to be, first issue will be basically the intro issue laying out groundwork, but I was hoping this could be a mini-series, if, we do well and play our cards right. But for now, we're just selling the first issue. See where we get with it.
Absolutely, yeah. We have to. I mean, it's got to be supported by you guys. It has to be. If you guys like the first issue and we get good feedback and we get enough, money together for another one, then we'll keep it going. I think. I think everybody wants to make more than one issue, right? Usually. Let's see what else we got here. It looks orgasmatic. Absolutely. That's a good adjective. Definitely is a unique premise. Artwork seems on point. Is this story one that's told more in dialogue or imagery? I think it's pretty much a chock full of both, wouldn't you say?
Probably.
Oh, someone said Mortal Kombat, and that's a Mortal Kombat reference. I'm just like, respect. I love it.
Yeah.
Or one person's like, it looks amazing.
Oh yeah, all the puns.
Look at this can of worms you opened, Trish. Let's see.
You see, that's what the comic is, though. It's just silly, dirty jokes.
Yeah, it's it's tongue in cheek. It's not supposed to be thinking porno or super raunchy. It's great to see a nice, curvy, badass female character for once, unlike comics of today. Completely agree. Actually, when I was doing designs for Amari, Trisha was like, make it more curvy. And I complied, of course, because she scares me.
Yeah. Never ever Rob Liefeld it, where you break her back and give her porn star boobs and just a tiny head and tiny feet. That's so played out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with a beautiful curvy woman being the protagonist of a story. There's plenty of beautiful curvy women out there who kick ass. As long as nobody starts preaching about what a toxic bad man I am, you've got my money. Well, we'll take it. Let's see. You owe girl. I like that. That's a good catchphrase. You could use the nickname OG for Orgasm Girl to bypass the taboo aspects of her name. I think we just wanted to go full Monty on the name, right? It's going to be tricky pushing it around, once it gets published, in the con or at a store, if we want to go, commission a few copies at a store. Maybe we'll have to come up with some tricky way to present them, or maybe behind the counter. I don't know. I mean, I can completely understand the scenario of having them out on the counter or on the shelf at a store, and maybe it being somewhat kind of, I don't want to say inappropriate, but, there's little kids, and they might get the wrong idea, or a parent might get the wrong idea. We do not want to do that. We want this to be all above board. We want it to be done right. So we'll have to think about a way to present it, but, we're smart. We can figure it out. So.
Right.
It's funny because I brought up this girl I'm kind of seeing. We were hanging out. I told her I was working on this book, and she was like, "Oh, cool. What's the book called?" And I was just like,
Yeah.
And I mumbled under my breath, I'm like, "Orgasm Girl." And then she's like, "She's cool." And she was like, "What?" She's like, "All right." And I was like, "Oh God, what is she gonna think about this?" But good thing it wasn't good. She was cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Orgasm Girl was the first working title that I had, and it was going to be a webcomic, so the way I saw it was it didn't really matter. I was just going to do it on the side, and it was just going to be this silly thing that I created. But then I couldn't come up with another name that would be more presentable, so I just ended up sticking with Orgasm Girl.
Yeah, just hit it with a bang, with a bang.
It's well, that's what it is.
Yep,
So.
exactly. I feel like that title alone just draws so many people to the book. So, I mean, it was kind of a really good choice, to be honest.
Indiegogo, question mark? Yes, Indiegogo, definitely. Vincent Q says, I can't put my money behind this. It sounds really stupid. Well,
Yeah, a little
everybody's
bit.
entitled to their opinion, and maybe it is a little dumb, but it's fun dumb. Like, why not be a little silly?
Plenty of silly comics out there.
I am a Bud Light man through and through. Bud Light, we do accept sponsors. I'm sure Bud Light would love to, Anheuser-Busch would love to sponsor Orgasm Girl. Let's see.
Oh, why not just call the comic Climax? One of the comments says. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I like that.
That could be like a killer like move that she has like later on in some other issue. Climax combo.
Or the art of kung fu.
The art of kung fu.
Oh my god. The amount of puns that were birthed from this title alone is just incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun project to work on for sure.
Yeah. Should we talk about when the Indiegogo campaign's going to launch?
Sure.
Yeah.
We're planning it October 16th.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll have stuff to show by then, and we can make us look nice and presentable.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna as of tomorrow, I guess, I'm gonna start getting the layouts ready and start busting out some pages to get ready for the campaign itself. So I'm going to be penciling my butt off here and then sending them over to our inker, who is unfortunately not with the stream right now, but his name is Brian Lee. He is super good at inking, and I'm so glad he's part of the team because he's a good buddy of mine. And he'll come on other live streams we're going to have to promote the comic, but so he's going to be our inker on this book. And so we're going to be doing 3 or 4 pages to help push the campaign when it launches. And I think we were talking about mid-October, so that's a little bit wishful thinking because 2 weeks is a quick turnaround to get all the pages inked and colored. Maybe we'll have, 1-page pencils, 1-page inks, 2 pages inked and colored. Just so you can see the process and see all of our different styles. But we're going to have enough up there for you to see to entice you to want to spend your money on this thing. And we have a nice, I think, fair goal. Well, when we crunch the numbers of how much money we're going to need, we budgeted down to the dime. A little bit of money, over the exact number we needed, but it's always smart to do that just for shits. Like if something costs a little extra, we'll have a little wiggle room. And we got all our ducks in a row. We're super excited to launch this thing and see how it does. So, we need you guys to get behind it. And if even just a fraction of Dan fans followers and my followers and just our community of artists that me and Nick and Brian know should be able to get this thing funded really easy. We're super optimistic. We feel like it's really going to do well. So.
Yeah, I have really high hopes for this book. Like I said, I think the title alone just, draws so many people in, and, it has that really intriguing factor towards it. And, like, after explaining to people that it's not as raunchy or not as explicit as it seems, I feel like it would interest more people and be like, then what's it about then? I'm like, then you're going to have to find out. So,
yeah.
Right, curiosity alone will make people want to read.
Exactly. At least they're gonna be interested enough to stop, look at it, crack the cover on it, see, what's this thing all about? It's gonna be interesting to see what people's expectations are of a book like this, and we just want the writing to be really good and the artwork to be really good, and just deliver a solid product. So I think we're going to do that pretty easily. We shouldn't get too caught up in the apologetics of all this. we know what it is. We know it's going to be a good book, so it's, there's no apologizing for the title. We're just going to go all balls in all the way, and yeah, it's going to kick ass. So I think that we just got to get over the hurdle of like the first book. Once it's out, everybody kind of gets it. Then we can all settle into what it is and get into the story, which is going to be pretty awesome itself. So.
Oh man, if we get a second issue out, I'm gonna be really excited for the second issue.
Yeah, I haven't read that script yet, but I'm super psyched that you got it done and can't wait to read it.
Yeah, I get to introduce the character that I wanted to have in the first issue, but they just wouldn't have fit in because it's more of an intro.
Yeah, someone's asking like, what are the villains gonna be named? The periods?
Oh God. Let's see. Travis Dakin asks, who's the little blonde girl? That's Sophie. Trish, you want to explain her dynamic in the story?
So, Sophie is the little fan of Amari. She doesn't know that Amari is basically a cheater at her boxing. And part of the story is that she ends up getting kidnapped. And guess who has to save her? None other than Amari.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like the sidekick character, She's like she's there to look up to Amari, but she looks up to Amari in a pure way, that the way that a kid would. So there's that interesting dynamic that Amari's kind of like, lying to her in a way, or hiding something about herself to her. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how their relationship develops. Let's see what else is in the comments here.
A lot of funny puns. That's what.
Yeah, I'm like trying to get to an actual question.
I love these people coming up with things I never even thought of.
Too bad the big O is taken. I haven't read that.
Oh, someone said this is a lot like the premise of Milo Manara's popular Click series. First of all, I love Milo Manara, so I'm so happy someone compared our story to the legendary Milo Manara. But
these are your people, Nick.
Yeah, he's like. I remember a few years ago, Milo Manara got so much controversy for that infamous Spider-Woman cover, and people are like, "Oh my God, that's such a sexual pose for Spider-Woman." But I'm like, first of all, Marvel hired pretty much a fetish artist or an erotic artist, whatever you want to call him, and B, the aftermath of that was so funny because people started to draw Spider-Man in all these ridiculous poses that he's already in, and with his junk just out and about, and it's kind of really funny. But in regards to Milo Manara, that he's just one of my personal favorites. He's just really incredible, and his work is just always on point. So
here's a question. So will there be people with abilities in this comic? Asks Black Phoenix 77. Yeah, there will be
There will be all kinds of crazy characters.
Yeah, there's things will be revealed as things go along. We're just kind of showing you what the main character is. Correct?
Yep.
Is there a digital demo version of it or something? We're just this is a live stream to kick off the announcement of the book. And so we're actually in the middle of just generating all the artwork and stuff right now. But we'll be teasing stuff along the way. There'll be plenty of it for you to see before you pledge any money. So we're very familiar with how campaigns work and what people expect, and you will get to see some cool stuff. So
yeah, this is the pre-campaign campaign.
Exactly. Yeah, we just kind of getting it out in the in the atmosphere, letting people sit with the idea. I've been teasing it on super chats around other people's live streams for a few weeks now. I don't know if any of you guys listen to Cecil's live streams or Comic Arts Pro Secrets or any of those guys have been dropping hints, and people have just kind of been like, you know, because they read the super chat, they're like, "What in the hell is this?" Well, I guess I'll read it because they gave me like $10, you know. So we've been teasing it that way. We just kind of want, you know, it to be out there, and so for you guys to, you know, think on it and get excited about it, and then when we launch the campaign, we can hit the ground running on that one. So, let's see. What else? The harder they come, the harder they fall. For OG, like that's good.
I love that one.
Travis Bacon says, into, but I want to support it. I'll see what I can do. Hey, well, we're going to have all kinds of tiers, so, you know, throw a little money down. Any amount is going to be good for us. Sounds interesting, and the art looks good. Good luck to you guys. Thank you, Running Deer Publishing. Really appreciate that. Yeah, and you know what helps a lot? It's just talking about it on social media, letting people know that this cool thing's happening.
Yeah, just getting hyped up.
Yeah, you know, I totally believe that this, you know, when I watch other people campaign, they talk about how this is our thing. I really believe in the whole, like, community aspects of making comics. Like, I love collaborating with other artists and creatives, and I love, you know, doing a community project together, and so you guys feel like you have ownership over it. That's this really smart way to approach comics and stuff. And so, you know, I like the idea of, like, bringing comics back to the people who buy them and the people that are reading the books. You know, like we're all in this together. We want to have a good time. So yeah, just share it, let people know, and you know, give your honest opinion about what we're offering you. Let's see. Oh, you can make a villain named Arousal Fiend. Sorry. He would be able to make people arouse while blocking their ability to orgasm at the same time. That's just cruel. That's moderator Iskra.
Oh yeah, Ishkra, by the way, the reason why I made you moderator for this stream is because you're the only one qualified and there's no other moderators here. So, have fun.
Yeah, you're super special, apparently.
Oh yeah.
When is it dropping on Indiegogo? We have a tentative date of October 16th. It really is dependent on how fast we can get stuff done. Now we have, you know, 3 people in the process, myself, Brian Lee, and Nick. And so, you know, we've all got jobs and we've all got, you know, things going on in our lives. And so, you know, we're going to try to get these 3 or 4 pages knocked out quickly. And then, you know, that's really, once we have those chunk of pages done, then we'll have enough artwork to get up to promote this thing. And then I'm just going to have to be banging out pages because I'll still have like 19 to do. And then a cover as well. So, yeah, we're just going to say October 16th for now. But it could, you know, it could be a little bit later. We'll just have to see. Excuse me. We'll have to see. In October, definitely.
Yeah. Perfect Halloween book, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Super scary.
A comic where a sidekick actually could be in a twisted relationship with an anti-hero, an evil pair. So I love that you guys are coming up with ideas already.
I love this so much, yeah.
Imaginations run wild.
Red Seb Munzer says, hey, are you guys a team? I don't know, guys. Are we a team?
We should,
yeah.
Definitely a team.
Definitely a team.
It'll be really cool that once we get this thing published and, you know, there'll be a Comic-Con somewhere in our neck of the neighborhood, you know, somewhere around New Jersey somewhere, and then Trisha can come out here and meet us all, and we can all become fast friends. Let's see.
Hell yeah.
You know, we'll be out there selling the book and, you know, selling these things off, trying to make some money. Let's see. Incubus Time Lord says, I like the old adult comic book from Milo Manara called Butterscotch. That was published by Eros Comics back in the early 90s. I remember Eros. I haven't seen that one, but I'll Google it, check it out. Maybe there's something in the artwork that I'll like.
Oh no, like you know Milo Manara's art, right, Josh?
I really don't. I'm not like a big manga guy, believe it or not. So
he's not manga. It's like he's just, his artwork is just beautiful. He's been in the comic industry for like I think almost a couple decades. Like he's incredible. Um, I think he uses a lot of like muted colors and paints.
Okay, I'm Googling that shit right now. Oh yeah, it's cool. It's got like a very like watercolor-esque style. Yeah, it's neat. Very cool. And very erotic art, which is cool. He's the guy that did the controversial Spider-Woman cover.
Yeah,
right.
I just mentioned that the sexy Spider-Man, the sexy Spider-Woman pose.
Right.
He got so much shit for that, but it's funny because Frank Cho, the legendary comic book troll, made a few Street Fighter covers based off of that pose. He drew like Cammy in that similar pose. He did another cover, I forgot which character, but I don't even know if it was for Street Fighter, but he did the same exact pose, like the Mila Manara Spider-Woman pose.
Right.
So it really, became like an overnight sensation for, I don't know, either the better or the worst.
Yeah, like you guys, I'm just gonna say this straight up. I'm so fucking sick and tired of people whining and complaining about dumb shit like this. Like, let people express themselves. Stop being so uptight and judgmental about the way people are expressing themselves creatively. I'm so anti that I don't even know how to say it. It's like, let the artist make judgment calls. If it's not for you, then don't buy it. Like, I don't know what to say. I mean, that piece is awesome. I don't know why people made such a stink about it. It's because they got nothing better to do. So I'm going to approach this project from a standpoint of a little bit of defiance, just saying, I'm sure we'll get the negative feedback, but I don't give a shit. Like, I just want us to make the comic that makes us happy, and to make art the way it should be made, which is what comes from inside you, truly. So, I'm pretty sure you guys are all on board with that, but please feel free to counter if you want. Let's see. I keep going through the comments here. Somebody said that we should approach Ethan Van Sciver. He's really great, and he's got his hand on a lot of cookie jars. If he mentions us, that'd be amazing, but we're not going to do that. I don't think we're not going to,
We're flying solo.
I don't think we need to. I mean, I think this is going to generate its own chatter, and I think people have an impression that Ethan, when he backs something, it's like turns it to gold, and I think that's some truth to that. But the guy's got his hands full with a million things, and I think we don't need it. We can do this on our own. But that being said, if anybody wants to share what we're trying to do here, we're not going to say no. Go ahead and share it.
Absolutely, share away. The more, the merrier.
Sharing is definitely good. Some might even say that it is caring.
Sharing, yeah. Black Phoenix 77. I love Frank Cho. Yeah, I fucking love Frank Cho. I have a couple of his sketchbooks, and I've met him at New York Comic Con once or twice, and he's super talented, and man, he can draw like a motherfucker. Like, he is so good, and he's so clean. Like,
and his ball pen and the illustrations are incredible.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, I'm gonna be pulling out those sketchbooks when I'm working on this comic for inspiration, because he knows how to he knows how to work his way around the female form masterfully. So I will be drawing from that for inspiration for sure.
My funny Frank Cho story was, around third year at the Cuber School, we went to New York Comic Con, and if any of you are artists out there, go to the Cuber School, because Comic Con is your field trip. You get 4-day passes. How awesome is that? But anyways, we go. I saw Frank Cho. No one was at his table, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna ask him to review my portfolio. So, me being all confident for like a split second, I walk up to his table, give him my whole spiel, like, hi, I'm Nick, I'm from the Cuban School, I'd be honored for you to review my portfolio, that whole rhetoric. And he looks at me, he just looks at me with this like look, and he's just like, why do they keep sending you guys to my table? And I didn't know how to react, but then he was like literally he paused for 10 seconds, I didn't know what to say, so I panicked, but then he was just like, I'm just fucking with you. He's just now it's he's looked at my portfolio. It was a pretty awesome review. He really knows his shit.
Yeah, some of those artists out there in the artist alley are really they're really cool with artists like David Finch. He actually took the time to really look at my pages and talk about panels and stuff, and I was like, wow, like, dude, thank you so much. I'm like, David Finch is like one of the best Batman artists to ever work on the book, and he's such a kind, generous person. And I was just like a little first year student, you know, and my work was definitely evolving, you know, and there was some bad stuff in there, and he really was thoughtful about talking about the way that I constructed these narrative pages. And it was just, you know, even though there was like a line of people, he took his time to talk to me with patience and answer my questions and all that good stuff. So can you please explain the premise again? I didn't get to hear it. Yeah, that's probably a good idea because we did that at the top of the show. So I'm going to leave that in Trisha's hands because she's the most qualified. So
I'm the explanation gal. So, Amari is a boxer who is famous for beating male boxers despite her being a woman. But little do they know that she is cheating with a special ability she has to make men orgasm with the snap of her fingers. So one day, little Sophie that you see beside her gets kidnapped, and it's up to Amari to go out and save her.
Awesome. Well, there you go. There's the synopsis. It's gonna be a fun book. Incubus Time Lord says, "I wouldn't be surprised if the Identity Politics Brigade don't start calling Orgasm Girl a racist for being a white girl." Read. Why she ain't a black girl who is a lesbian? Laugh out loud. Well, you know, the only response I can give to that is I don't give a shit. I don't think any of us really do care what those types of people think, because that's all narcissism. That's not any kind of valid criticism of anything creative. It's all about themselves and getting attention on Twitter. So fuck all that. Let's see. Moving on down the line. I heard about this book from those live streams. See? I told you. Okay.
He's the mastermind.
I was like, we need to get this thing out there. We need to get it out in the atmosphere. And so I just started jumping on live streams and confusing the hell out of these poor guys on like the High Council and Cecil Says and all that shit. Which I love all those shows. They're a lot of fun. What's the inspiration for this?
Inspiration.
I invented a new word. I was going to say inspirado, and then I blended two words together.
Well, I don't know. I was just thinking up ideas of really dumb minor powers that superheroes could have. And I just thought about, like, the ability to make someone orgasm and how that would stun them. It would be very oddly effective. And eventually that just made its way into being a full-fledged comic called Orgasm Girl.
Were you just, like, sitting on the porch in your rocking chair watching the leaves blow by and just go, I'm going to write a comic called Orgasm Girl? Yeah, that's the ticket.
All for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Will the comic be metric or standard? Asks the R.W. Bimby. Standard, I think, is what we discussed. Just a regular old comic, you know? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Black Phoenix 77 at Incubus Time Lord, screw them. Let's not talk about those people. Amen. Hell yeah. If you guys agree with this, F the SJW bullshit, who want to stifle creators' ability to speak their mind and make their own comics, then let us know in the chat. Say, yeah, F them. I don't think her knockers are perky enough. Well, damn, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know how perkier I can make them, I guess. Jeez, I don't know. I'll have to maybe get back to the drawing board on that one.
You're gonna need to watch more anime, dude.
Yeah. You need to watch more anime.
Yeah, I know. I'm not as big on the anime as you guys are, but maybe I'll do some research. I got nothing against perky boobs. Believe me, I'm a.
Speaking of anime, I just finished watching. It's called X. It's by the publishing group Clamp. Mm-hmm. They're incredible, but the art is so beautiful, man. Like, I think you would definitely love, and it's like an apocalyptic kind of story. I think you would love that story to get started in. Like, if you want to read manga or like watch anime.
Yeah.
let's see. Discussing manga and chat, which is good.
Yeah.
Black Phoenix 77, they don't all have to have sex powers, guys. I guess that's true, but we're just following a theme here. We're following through on an idea. There's Brian Lee in the chat. Even the Mythic Universe.
Oh, yeah, I saw him.
What's up, B. Lee?
Everyone give a shout out to Brian Lee.
Yeah, he's
the anchor of this story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brian's going to be doing a lot of work, so...
Hell yeah, man.
We need your support, too. Great inker, great guy. We've had many a fun barbecue together. Let's see. Laugh Out Loud. Gold Mike says, LOL, Dan Fan's voice is adorable.
Aww.
Yeah, well, you're going to be selling our book, so put that adorable voice to work. Let's see. Every girl voice is adorable anyway. Well, that's debatable. Let's see. Incubus Time Lord says, Orgasm Girl reminds me of Stacy X from Marvel Comics. Okay. Let's see. They were trying to find something related to the book to read. Let's see.
5 more questions.
Phoenix, this is pretty funny. It's a fucked up joke. Phoenix 6056 is HIV the final boss? That's fucked up, dude.
I read that.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
But it's kind of funny in a way, you know? I'm all about having some laughs. Let's see. Adventure Industries. That's a great premise. Well, thank you and thank Trisha because she's the mastermind.
Woo!
Man of Action asks, where are you from, Josh? You look familiar. Where do I know you from? Well, shit. I guess maybe you've seen me on my YouTube channel, R8 Horror Commentary Podcast. It's a horror show. Very tongue-in-cheek, kind of goofy. We talk about horror movies. But I will be expanding my channel to cover more things and also this book. So go over to my channel, R8 Horror Commentary Podcast, on YouTube and subscribe. And sit around waiting for our updates in this thing. Let's see.
How does she snap with them How does she snap with them boxing gloves on?
They're not always on. Boxing gloves come off. But I guess he's saying, like, if she's in a fight, how does she snap her fingers? That's gonna be a logic question for Trisha.
Well, every superpower needs to have its own little limiter.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult.
I suggested early on, I was like, well, why don't we make her wiggle her nose like, what's her name? The witch. Bewitched.
Samantha.
Yes.
Wiggle
like
her nose.
Akai Ren made even Heroin Bird Empowered. They made Empowered references. I don't know if you know Empowered. It's a comic, like a sexy comic by Adam Warren. And Adam Warren is also a Human School graduate, so shout to that. But if you haven't, you should definitely read Empowered. It's really good. It's basically about this superhero girl who never can get anything right, and like her super suit is like so delicate that like the slightest like punch will like really rip off her entire suit. So she's like pretty naked most of the time. So it's a pretty awesome book for those who are interested in reading Empowered as well.
Yeah, I've seen that around. People seem to like it.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, it's so good.
Let's see. The Anime Slayer says, it's a shame Cho had to succumb to the SJW mob. Abso-fucking-lutely. Like, he shouldn't have to. He's brilliant, and those people fucking suck. But the problem is that when you have something on the line, and when you have something to lose, and you've worked your whole life for it, you have to weigh the scales and say to yourself, can I just, appease these silly people in the moment and just carry on with my life, or do I make a stand and cause, and risk causing the collapse of my career, because these people are tricky and they like to cancel people, and I don't think that anybody who's proven themselves as a professional who plays within the guidelines when they express themselves in a way that comes naturally to them, should ever have to cower to some fucking Twitter mob. So, yes, fuck those people, and I totally agree with you, Anime Slayer. I'm a very opinionated person, in case you can't tell. I'm all about championing the rights of the artists. Adventure Industries, that's a great premise. Thank you. Let's see. She snapped with them. Am I rereading shit? Let's see.
I'm gonna step out for a little bit. You guys gonna be okay?
Yeah. You're coming back, right?
Yeah, I'll be back for just a little bit.
Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, we get a lot of people agreeing with F the SJW mob. Be like, F for yes. Definitely show your support. Let us know that, you're behind us on this thing. Let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, like I remember one time at a show, someone asked me like, why do I draw my women so sexy and so that? I'm like, because I love women and I love beautiful women, and having idols growing up like Adam Hughes, Terry Dodson, and like Frank Cho and Neil Minara. I'm just like like they just draw beautiful women, so I want to draw beautiful women.
Yeah, I mean, they're fun to draw and they're fun to look at. And there's nothing wrong with the human response to a beautiful woman's body. Now, there's nothing wrong with having characters that aren't like that. I mean, there's all types of ways to express the female form and the male form, for that matter. And if the story calls for some sexuality or some sensuality in the character, or you just want to please your audience, like J. Scott Campbell. I mean, he's amazing the way he draws women. It's very highly stylized, cartoony female figures, but he's become very successful at it for a reason. Adventure Industry says Inspiragio. I love that. Yes, you got it right. Maybe we'll make that the imprint name.
I am Titan 402 said, imagine if Alex Ross did a variant cover for this. Like, that would be, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, he might be a little out of our price range.
Yeah. Oh, Black Phoenix, I agree. Like, Black Phoenix is like, I love beautiful women. If looking at hot women in comics is wrong, then I'm guilty. I'm like, has anyone ever seen, like, Stepan Sajic? Like, I mean, his work alone, you just, like, it's so gorgeous, but literally every page there's a sexy woman on there, and I love that so much.
IR Joe 5 says SJWs are the root of all evil. I think that a large portion of these people think they're doing good. I think that I wouldn't say that they're the root of all evil, but they definitely have like turned things in a way that make it less enjoyable. That I just say they suck the enjoyment out of everything. Like, let things be funny, let them be fun. Let people decide what they like, you don't have to like it. Go, do your own thing in the corner. Let's see. I'm trying not to miss too many comments there. We want you guys to be involved in this conversation, so taking my time.
Cutesy-kun said, sometimes less attractive women are better. By that I mean their personality. And I agree, like, look at a character like She-Hulk, this big, green, giant lady, big and buff, but, like, she's basically, like, people forget that She-Hulk was, like, the Deadpool of the 80s. Like, literally, her comic was made out of entire satire towards the comic book industry, so I agree with that statement a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that.
I'm back.
Black Feet. Oh, cool. Let's see. Bathroom break? Or do you have a Hot Pocket in the microwave? Let's see. Black Phoenix 77. I love beautiful women. If looking at a hot woman in comics is wrong, then I'm guilty. Yeah, me too. I mean,
isn't everybody?
As I mentioned before, I have a horror show, and like I watch a lot of like 80s horror. And they have a lot of like hot women in it. It's like that makes it so much fun. Like there's something wrong with it. It doesn't put anybody down because they're hot. It's a fact of life. I'm so behind on Sex Criminals. I haven't read that. I kind of looked through it at the comic shop once because the title caught me. But I didn't pick it up, so maybe I'll get back to actually reading a copy of it.
Yeah, She-Hulk is my favorite Marvel heroine. Same here. I just wish they did more with She-Hulk. I thought she's a really awesome character. I'm kind of excited for what they're gonna do with the show that's gonna be on Disney Plus.
I hope it's not adapting the new comics.
Oh god,
yeah.
Because they changed everything.
Oh god.
They changed everything cool about her.
Yeah, they ruined everything that's cool. What are they doing, people? Like, what are they thinking? Like,
well, I feel like each artist has a different mindset of, like, She-Hulk. Because I've seen She-Hulk super skinny, kind of like a bodybuilder, and then I also seen her basically like Hulk with a wig. I kind of like that happy medium where she's really jacked and buff, like a bodybuilder on steroids, but at the same time in more of like a feminine kind of looking ways, like still give her curves and shit. So
yeah, she still looks sexy even though she's very musculature. It was good.
Mr. Josh, don't call me Mister, just call me Josh, okay? It's just weird. Nazis also were absolutely convinced that they are the good guys. So thinking that they do good is not absolving SJWs of their crimes. I think trying to corral all SJWs or political correctness thinkers into one group is exactly what they try to do to us, and so I don't like to. I like to stay away from that. People are individuals, and some are more annoying than others. But I mean, if we're gonna look at some of the things that they've been doing, and specifically this industry, I can't dig it. I don't like it, and I wish they would stop and just fucking chill out, man. Seriously.
Gotta stay off Twitter, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I really just I see I have notifications on there. I'm going to check DanFan's Twitter or something, and I just stumble across something that an SJW creator writes. So I'm like, oh, it just makes me angry. I'm like, why did I even open up Twitter today? I was in a good mood, you know. So dumb. So yeah, let's get on Twitter and fill it up with good shit. You know, awesome art. And, Indiegogo campaigns getting backed. I don't really like women with way too much muscles, like the one in Street Fighter 4.
I feel like it depends on the character. Like, I like maybe like a Wonder Woman physique where Wonder Woman's pretty muscular but she's an Amazon, but she's not drawn like a little porn star kind of thing. I kind of like Frank Cho. Frank Cho draws, I think, one of the best Wonder Woman because he makes her kind of beefy. So.
Yeah, I think you gotta find a right balance.
Yeah.
That's the real trick.
Iskra, it's cool. I'm not mad at you. But just call me Josh. It's cool. Or best comic penciler in the industry. You can call me that too if you want to. Even though this is my first book. But, I like to come out of the gate strong. She is wearing the wrong shoes for a boxer. Better for running. Well, maybe that ties in the story. You never know. You have to buy the comic and see.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Incubus Time Lord. My favorite heroines in DC Comics are Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Batgirl. My favorite superheroines in Marvel Comics are the Invisible Woman, Phoenix, Jean Grey, Summers, and the Wasp. Well, those are all great characters. Yeah, definitely.
Found out today I was preemptively blockchain by Dan Slott on Twitter. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's so the blockchains is such fucking weak ass minded bullshit, dude. You know what I mean? I'm by proxy not gonna be open to you because you like somebody else on Twitter. It's like high school fucking bullshit. So dumb, it's deal with people one-on-one, if they like somebody that you don't like, who cares, it doesn't mean they're going to treat you badly, but I understand that there's a lot of harassment, so maybe they're trying to block that out, but everybody should get a free first chance anyway, let them be themselves, let them approach you in their own way. I mean, two things can be true at one time, right? You can dislike somebody and like this other person. You don't have to be, it's not all teams, you know what I mean?
It's not black and white, guys.
It's not. It really isn't. Black and white thinking is for weak-minded fools. Damn it. I'm getting the urge to slam my fist on the desk.
Please don't.
I don't.
You guys have any questions for us? You want to get to know us a little bit? Or happy to answer any questions within reason. I'm not going to tell you, what kind of underwear I'm wearing or anything. I am Titan402 says, fuck Dan Slott, your boy Zach absolutely destroyed him today. I saw that video pop up, and because I ran home from work, I haven't got a chance to watch it. his videos are kind of hit or miss for me. Sometimes I'm really interested in them, and sometimes I'm like, I'm not into it today. But that one looked really interesting because it seemed like he had a really good point there. So, um, Heroinberg, we're blockchained by Mags and Kwanzaa. Yeah, those guys are blockchains or chainers or whatever, and it's their loss. You know, don't be. If someone blockchains you, and it's happened to me, I've been caught up in it. It's their loss. Don't get upset by it. I mean, they're the ones who are limiting themselves in some way, and they're short thinking. You know.
I don't think I've been blocked by anyone yet.
Do you have any other ideas for other kinds of comics? I mean, I personally, I have my webcomic Sandy's been running for a little
fantastic, really good
bit of a year now. It's on Webtoons. It's Sandie. It's not like how usually people spell Sandy, but that's like about this. She's like a demon. She's like a demon girl from another realm, but she's like a friendly demon. It's basically she's from a realm that's just everyday people. It's a little futuristic, but the only difference that they have devil horns and can do magic. That's also a real. I've been working on that. It's like my passion project. I'm trying to get it out there. She's like this really cool green-haired demon, and every chapter I have a different artist work on the cover, and I've actually had. If any of you are fans of Archie comics, I've had Fernando Ruiz do a cover that I colored.
Yeah, also cool.
And I'm really making. I'm finally fleshing out this character. It's been a project I've been working on for 3 years, and I scrapped the idea in the middle of the 3 years and revamped it, and it's doing pretty good so far. So you all should definitely check it out.
It's been so cool, like watching you improve over all these years, over the 6 years that I've known you. Like your stuff's just gotten really good, and the Sandy Comics a lot of fun, man. You really stuck to your guns with that and developed it into something cool.
Someone mentioned Lady Death. Lady Death is my favorite. I'm actually getting a tattoo of Lady Death soon, so I'm she's definitely one of my favorite characters. I think I actually have one of the action figures somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, right here. I have this lovely Lady Death figure.
Nice.
Wait, let's see it.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at that. That's some serious battle gear she's got. Watch out for my thong of death.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see. What's your favorite scary movie? Shit, I can't pick one. I mean, I'm a huge horror dork, so you got your main franchises. Freddy, Michael, Jason. I love. There's at least one movie in each one of those franchises I totally adore. I love The Shining. There's a movie called Sleepaway Camp that I love. There's all kinds of really great subgenres in the horror genre that I each have a movie that I'm in love with. So it's hard to pick one. But if you love horror, tell me what your favorite horror movie is.
Are you both digital, or will it be traditional art inside? It'll be a mixture of both because I'll be coloring digitally. Josh, are you drawing pencil? No, Josh is penciling, I believe, traditionally, and then Brian's inking digitally, if I'm not mistaken. So
actually, I'm gonna be doing it digitally, but
okay.
I'm gonna do a few pages traditionally so that we can have them as tiers or something. And if it's going to be our first book, I want to have an actual page in my hand, just for sentimental reasons because I'm like that. But, I mean, it's mostly going to be done digital. And the reason why that is because it's a lot faster. And it's so much easier to, backstep on something when you're inking or whatever than it is to have to white it out or whatever, So it's just a speed thing. I am Titan 402, Reanimator, and Evil Dead 2. Hell yeah, I love Reanimator, and I love Evil Dead 2. So you and I are friends. Let's see.
Black Phoenix. I posted the link of my comic in the comment section, so feel free to take a look at it. I try to post every Monday. It was really consistent, but I'm still on the brink of being really consistent with the deadlines. But I just finished chapter 3, so you have all the time to get caught up. In the meantime, while I work on chapter 4.
guys, we are accepting super chats, by the way. We're trying to get a little cash together to get Sashi to do a pinup for the book, which will be a stretch goal, or is it stretch goal or tier? Stretch goal?
Stretch goal, yeah.
Yeah, and so, that's all going to go into Dan Fan's control. She'll have that money set aside for that stretch goal. So if you guys feel like getting a comment highlighted and throwing some cash our way, we'll take it for sure. Let's see. Shameless. Feminist attacking J. Scott Campbell. Didn't know she had Campbell as her avatar. That's by Omega Shinron there. Yeah, because they are fucking clueless. They're just more interested in being outraged by something than they are paying attention to the fine details, which is a shame, And he's such a nice dude. Like, I was dating this girl who's an artist, and she loves J. Scott Campbell, and every year we'd have to go over to his booth, and she wanted to buy something and meet him, and he was always the kindest, nicest guy, and his work is incredible, and it's just so stupid that they try to attack him because they got nothing else to do. And the funny thing is that he's impenetrable. He's, the guy is so talented and good and has so many fans that it doesn't mean jack shit if they attack him. So, good luck with that, but you're not going to get anywhere with it.
Right. It is super ironic, though.
Yeah, it is ironic, because they don't know. They're not paying attention to the details.
They're just like, oh, people are mad about something. I'm mad about it, too.
Yeah. Oh, shit, better change my avatar real quick. Let's see, what else can we answer here? Let's see. Yeah, everyone super chat at $1. Hey, that's gonna get the ball rolling. I think somebody on the top of the show super chatted something.
Yeah, he super chatted $5, and he said that he wouldn't be able to make it to the live stream.
Yeah, that was really cool. So we already got something in the pot, but come on, let's get some dollars flowing to Sashi over here.
Well, did we miss any questions?
I'm kind of going back through. Nick, Orgasm Growth sounds like it will be awesome. And we follow your Twitter. Oh, that's cool.
Sweet, thanks. Who's a better artist, Mark Silvestri or Jim Lee? My personal favorite, I grew up reading a lot of Witchblade, so I will have to say Mark Silvestri, but I do enjoy Jim Lee, but I really haven't read anything of his in a long time, since probably Batman Hush, but yeah, I was always team Mark Silvestri.
Yeah, that's really splitting hairs there. I mean, they're both so magnificent in their own way. I really love Mark's Silvestri's style changed since the 90s, and now it's got a lot of this Bernie Wrightson style influence in it, with a lot of line work. His anatomy is impeccable. Met Silvestri, got some stuff signed once. Yeah, he's great.
He has a band called September Morning, and they actually made a comic off the lead singer, because the lead singer is in this cool demon lady death looking kind of vibe. So they made a cool comic about her. So it was really awesome.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jim Lee is classic though too. He changed the industry.
Absolutely. I think one of my heroes is definitely, I love them both, but I was still in the era of Jim Ballant. Jim Ballant, for those who don't know, he created the purple suit Catwoman. He's known for his very 90s style. I met him at a few shows. He's the most awesome person ever. And he's also a QB grad, he's one of my heroes. And also, Brian Pulido and Lady Death are awesome. Hell yeah, I met Brian Pulido a few years ago. I would love, a dream of mine is to, color something of Lady Death. I already did a Lady Death pinup, but, on my own leisure. But to get, a published Lady Death piece, with even just my colors on it, I'd be so, it'd be honored. It would be such an honor. And then, Incubus, the Time Lord, Tarot Bush's Black Rose gone good over the years. Hell yeah, it has. I still never forget the one sequence, I believe in the first couple of issues, where I think her name's Raven, like the evil sister. She had like these like really obnoxious boob spikes on her nipples, and she literally impaled a guy's face.
No. See, that's awesome. I like that. You know, it's like that's balls. You know. Dan Montgomery, did the Evil Dead TV series suck or not? Dude, Evil Dead TV series was incredible. It was so good. I mean, they only did 3 seasons. Unfortunately, they couldn't get past season 3. But it's a lot of fun, and I definitely highly recommend picking it up on Blu-ray or just going into your Amazon Fire Stick or something and watching, because it's really good.
Hey, Black Phoenix. $5 for the cause. Thanks, Black
sweet.
Phoenix.
Yes.
That was nice of you.
Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that.
And Encore Baby, yes. Silvestri, I believe he's one of the co-founders of Image, right? It was Silvestri, Rob Liefeld, and I believe Todd McFarlane, if I'm not mistaken, and Jim Lee. Or no, I think Silvestri, if I'm not mistaken, Silvestri and Jim Lee had Wildstorm comics. And then it was, unless they were all part of Image, then that'd be pretty...
I think it was like a sub-imprint or something of Image or something weird like that. I feel Mark has gotten way better over time. Hell yeah. I mean, I think his style... I mean, he had that house style in the 90s, and then he just became, like, killer. Like, really, really good. When he started doing... bringing Cyberforce back, he's really kick-ass. Let's see. I mean, I really don't care about the story too much, but I just bought the trade paperback just to look at his artwork.
What do you think of Eric Powell's art? I never looked at his art, but I'm looking at it right now, and it's looking pretty awesome. Like, I really love it. Currently, like, my artist lady that I've been really obsessing over is probably Clayman and Olivia Copiel. Those are like the 2 artists I'm like literally obsessing over. Like, I like get so hesitant whenever they post something on Instagram or something. So let's see. Come on, guys, keep the questions coming. Give us something to go. Can we believe that we've already been streaming for 71 minutes? Over an hour. It's just going by. It felt like 5 minutes. Holy shit.
Yeah, really. What did we do?
Do this for another 2 hours. I could talk all night long. Let's see. I was reading Silvestri X-Men and didn't realize he was the guy who did Image Comics as well. That's Encore Baby. Yeah, you know, I mean, all those guys are tied in together. It's, you know, those guys became industry leaders when they broke off of Marvel and created Image. That was a pretty bold move, and I really salute that. You know why? Because a man was trying to keep them down, you know. They were like, fuck you guys, we're going to do our own thing. We got all the talents. Let's just go do what we want to do, you know? That's fucking badass. Really is. Apologies that I can't super chat. Nick, we just followed you over at Twitter and DeviantArt. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, dude, you know, no worries. Dude, I've been so broke before that I could barely buy a box of mac and cheese, so I totally get that. You don't feel bad, you know? Don't feel bad at all.
Didn't even know you had a DeviantArt.
Yeah.
That's old school.
This actually was like my second DeviantArt. The first one I deactivated, so don't even bother looking for it because it was it was pretty cringy. I had my fair share of Sonic OCs. I had my fair share of cringy. I had my fair share of cringy Naruto OCs. So that was canceled. That was over. So my DeviantArt I had for like almost 5 years, and it's pretty much I showcase like my color work, my Sandy stuff throughout the years. So it's less cringy. I hope.
That's comedy gold, though.
Maybe one day I could look into the vault and see if I have any of those left.
Oh shit, Brandon Allen, $10. I really like the premise. It sounds really awesome. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get some fun.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. Thank you.
Incubus, one of my all-time favorite comic books is Arthur Adams. I love Arthur Adams so
much. But he's such a fucking classic, really.
Yeah.
Glad you guys are watching and are not totally scared away by the premise, by the way.
Here's an interesting question. Was Chris Claremont too political on the X-Men? Well, wasn't there a whole story of the X-Men based off of politics where like mutants were considered a threat and like they were trying to ban mutants of some sort? So I wouldn't say it's too political, like, or he made it too political because it was already political. If you really think of it.
We love your channel but couldn't find a way to mail you a comic. Why don't you DM me on Twitter? My DMs are open. We can talk. I'm all for reviewing people's comics.
King Crow says Adams is a shit. I'm assuming he means Neil Adams, but I thought he meant your boyfriend Adam. And I was like, how? What? That's kind of like a weird message. Like, Adam, your boyfriend is the shit.
Jeez.
Art Adams. Okay, sorry, my bad. I thought you meant Neil Adams. Used to draw the New Mutants and Long Shot for Marvel back in the 1980s. Classic art. Sure. Yeah.
Oh, here's a question from Iskra. Would you ever illustrate a source book to an erotic tabletop RPG, and how much would it cost? That would be a dream. I would love to work on an erotic RPG, because that just sounds really interesting. But the cost-wise, I don't know, because, you know, it depends on what printer you use, depends on, you know, what artists are contributing to it, so it really all depends. But if there's ever the idea, like, if there was ever the time where I was asked to work on an erotic tabletop RPG, I'd be so down.
Yeah, it would be fun as hell, man. I always thought it'd be fun to do like a really like kinky comic or something, you know, like, you know, it's just something different. It's a little, you know, it's on the edges there, you know what I mean? I mean, people buy it, but there's a crowd for it, you know.
Always a crowd. So let's get sexy.
Later, Kutsi-kun. Did I say that right? Kutsi-kun. Gotta go. Bye, dudes. Later.
Later. Thank you for watching.
And one dudette over here. Let's see. What else?
Top Cow and Wildstorm Cheesecake Special Editions.
Oh, yes. Actually, the old Sandy series I did, it was like a long time ago. I tried to do a homage to that because I used to love like the swimsuit editions. Like, I had like the biggest crush on Storm growing up. So like whenever like you get that full page spread of like Storm or something in like a swimsuit, I love that. And yeah, I love those swimsuits at Wildstorm and Top Cow. I think Marvel had a phase where they would do that as well, but not anymore.
No more fun.
King Crow says how many pages is the story going to be? It's going to be 22. It's going to be a classic comic book. It's going to be standard, you know, 22 pages, a great cover, and some pin-up. I think we talked about throwing in some concept art in there.
Yep.
So Trisha's art and concept art and some of mine as well. So there'll be some neat stuff in there, you know, get to see our thought process a little bit.
Yep. As you can imagine, my concept art is super anime.
It's super what?
Anime.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at your stuff, I'm like, how am I going to, like, because I don't draw that way, and I'm like, how can I translate this into what I would do? But we worked it out, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks good.
I like your style, it's just I don't draw like that.
I know.
Nick Capone loved the Marvel swimsuit issues in the 90s. Oh, sorry, asking you. Sorry, I'm not reading your question.
Yeah. No, yeah, they were pretty cool. I don't remember the guys. I didn't know they did that, but yeah, like I remember they would have. I do remember the one they had a like robe. I like loved that so much. It was so gorgeous. Rogue was definitely a beautiful like girl next door character, and I really loved that page. I think I also really love the covers for. Does anyone remember Wizard magazine? I have a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those were really great too.
Tony Gohagan said, "Peace out, peeps. I wish you great success. Stay good. Thank you, dude. Like just simple, well wishes like that mean a shitload to me personally. And so thanks for saying that. Thanks for checking us out for a little bit. Someone in the chat actually asked, oh here it is. Rich at Art says anatomy is still a difficult thing for me. How do I get into drawing anatomy without feeling restricted? Dude, it's an endless pursuit. Learning anatomy is so important to being a narrative artist and understanding how to draw the figure. You have to constantly go to live drawing classes and practice and learn to understand how the human body works and how it's put together from the inside out. So understanding the skeletal system, how the muscles overlay everything, and then the form itself. And a lot of that comes from just drawing loosely and, sort of letting your eye and hand coordination follow the form. And, gestures are really important as much as tight drawings because you're training your eye and your brain to understand the way the human form works. And if you can, that's why so many art schools teach anatomy classes, because if you can draw the human form, you can draw anything. So it's just a complex thing, And
I am Titan just said, just don't draw like Liefeld, and I'm just like, yeah.
It's so weird because he had some real juggernaut shitty drawings out there, but his stuff like in the 90s didn't really bum me out that much. There's something kind of weird and eclectic and appealing about his style that really attracted a lot of people in the 90s. And he didn't have any formal training, which we all know, and it kind of shows at times, but he made it work for himself, and it's like sort of an enigma in its own. So, but yeah, listen, if you want to be good at comics, you got to learn anatomy. It's important. So go out and find yourself a figure drawing class. And if you can't get into class, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, have them model for you and just draw for an hour and do quick poses, medium timed poses, so like 10 to 15 minutes, and then like one long pose. And do that like once a week for a while, and you'll start to pick up how anatomy works. And get yourself a good anatomy book that shows you bones and muscle structure.
Yeah, even Liefeld has his audience.
Yeah.
I will say, though, on a brighter note for Rob Liefeld, I do think over the years he's gotten a little better with his artwork. It's less cringy. But, people are never going to let go of the fact that he used to draw pouches on every character and, like, giant-ass guns and all that.
Yeah, but, dude, for 90s me, like, that shit was, like, fun to look at. Like, I was totally into X-Force, and, some of his image stuff was not as good, but Youngblood was cool. I mean, the guy knew how to make kind of fun, interesting, like, goofy, over-the-top characters, and you gotta have an appeal, So, yeah, he probably pushed it too far in some places, but,
Dawn just popped in. Where can I see your art and your book? Thank you, and hello, Mike. Our book didn't launch yet. It's launching October 15th or 16th, one of those days. But we're just kind of doing the rundown of the book, just talking about like what it's about, and then also talking about random stuff like Rob Liefeld. So so stay tuned.
You can see this beautiful promo piece that we have right here in the YouTube window. It's we all collaborated together on that, and that's our first offering to show you what the characters are kind of going to be like and what the tone and the mood of the book's going to be. So, yeah, check that out. It's pretty cool. We're probably going to be having these out there for prints or maybe somewhere in the book, something like that. Let's see.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the giant chested Captain America says, "I am Titan Forward." So yeah, that was probably the worst abomination of his whole career. I think that was just so ill-conceived. And, I've talked to other pros about that, and they seem to think that it was maybe on purpose to, I don't know, just fuck with people. But we remember it, right? And we remember Liefeld for it, so there's something to it.
He's trying to really over-exaggerate them muscles.
Oh,
Good
my God,
question.
yeah.
Good question. Black Phoenix wants to know, how much will the book be when it's done?
I believe it's going to be $5 digitally, and we're talking about the campaign perks.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what was it, 10 or 15 for it printed? I'd have to pull it up, but I got the screen.
We have all our tiers written out, ready to go. It's going to be within your budget. Probably typical of a Indiegogo campaign. A new book that's coming out. So it won't be super expensive like Cyberfrog or something. It'll be within your reach. Encore baby. he did make appealing characters. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't give a shit there was too many options. I was like, what's in those fucking things?
Well, ironically enough, like like I said, I'm a child from the '90s. We all were, and I grew up on those comics. So like, even in the sliced bit, like I might make fun of the poorly drawn characters. Like some of the designs, as ridiculous as they were, like inspire me today. Like I don't think I could have came up with Sandy, like my character Sandy, if it weren't for the fact of having like a '90s flair or like the really obnoxious costumes. Like so it definitely like it impacts us all. Like I will always say that I have a soft spot for '90s comics, especially if I see like a '90s Catwoman book. I'm trying to collect all 94 issues. If I see one, I'm like grabbing it. Like I'm starting to like invest in. If you look behind me, like all the different action figures, and they're making another '90s Catwoman. I have one right here. Like not to like geek out over like this dumb little figure, but this figure is like one of my favorites. It's of the '90s Catwoman, Jim Ballant.
Nice.
Like,
oh yeah, I always like that version.
Yeah, it's my favorite Catwoman, and so there's another one coming out in November. But like, yeah, like I just love that design so much. Like, yeah, it's very over sexualized, but you know, it was the '90s. A and B.
Whatever.
It's more practical. Like, I feel like the long dress and the cape were just too in the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so another, Mike wants to know, the book is Orgasm Girl. What is the premise?
My lady?
So, Amari is a boxer who has this ability to make any man she touches orgasm with the snap of her fingers. She's always used it to be a cheater at boxing and beat male opponents, but now her little fan Sophie has been captured and it's up to her to use her weird ability to save her. Put that on the back of the book.
That's the premise.
There you go.
We're gonna keep expounding on that and making it, give it some depth. And there's gonna be other characters thrown in there, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Encore Baby. I couldn't read early X-Force because of LIFO art in the writing. Well, yeah, I guess it's not for everybody, but for me, it caught my eye. I bought all 6 issues that were bagged, and each one had a different card. I'm literally right over there on the floor in my long box. I have all those issues sitting right there. So yeah.
Another one, like Dan mentioned again, how can you snap your fingers in boxing gloves? Usually when she snaps, the gloves are off. So just to clarify that. And then Black Phoenix, Jim Ballant's Catwoman is my personal favorite Catwoman. I think the only other Catwoman that I think would be my second favorite would be the current Joelle Jones Catwoman. I think she's doing an incredible job with the way, how she tackles Selena and that costume. I'm very against goggles. I hate Catwoman wearing goggles. I always hate Catwoman's goggle. I love Darwin Cook, but that was it was a practical costume. It was a very practical costume, which I respect. But I don't know. I just don't like the goggles at all.
Yeah. I can't help but think of Adam Hughes when I think of Catwoman for some reason.
Oh no, his Catwoman run, his cover run for Catwoman is probably one of my favorite Catwoman runs. His work, one of my favorite Catwoman covers was by Adam Hughes of the mugshot. It's a very famous cover because there's so many cosplayers that cosplay that cover, but it's and Kyle just in a mugshot, she's crying and everything, but
let's see. Digital copy solves the international shipping. Yeah, me and Trish talked about that, and it's just such a pain in the ass and very expensive to ship overseas. So that's the digital copy. If you're overseas, then you can get it that way. Maybe when we get boxes of books in, if there's a specific situation where you really want a hard copy, you can reach out to us. Maybe we'll mail you one. But we can't do a big mass thing because it's just dealing with getting all the books out to people in the continental U.S. is going to be hard enough already, and we don't want to overextend ourselves on the first book. So, somebody else asked, "How can you snap your fingers in boxing gloves?"
Yeah.
Sophie's looks super adorable. When I was thinking about her, of course, I had Trisha's concept designs to go off of, but I think somewhere in the back of my mind, like Penny from Inspector Gadget popped out a little bit too. But thank you. I'm glad you like the design. You know, she's pretty cool. She's a doer.
I actually named my daughter after a Batman supervillain. Gotta watch out for her.
Oh yeah.
I know it'll come from that.
King Crow says, idealized human form is goal. Superman is super ripped, and Wonder Woman is a goddess. Superheroes are new mythology. Yeah, I mean, there is absolutely nothing wrong with idealizing the human form. It's been going on in human society since the beginning of time. Look at Greek statues. I mean, you're not excluding people necessarily, but you know, you want to look at something that's held to a standard. That's something that's pleasing to the eye that we hold ourselves, you know, up to, you know, and I just don't see, you know, any reason to not show an idealized human form when you're creating something, because it's more fun to draw and people respond to it. It's common sense. This is like common sense shit here. I don't understand why we're even debating it, but
basic art lessons.
Yeah. Let's see. Dan Montgomery says nope. What's that in regards to, Dan?
Dan said he named his daughter after a DC villain, and we're trying to figure out which one.
Oh, so he's saying no, it's not that one.
Yeah.
King Crow, what else do we have to look up to? There is a great need for good writers on these indie products. Yeah, and that's absolutely, dude. That's why I snatched up Trisha, because I really saw some talent in her, and I think she's got a voice, you know. And I'm like, you know, there was no other reason other than I just saw like some raw talent there, and I want to collaborate with her. And so, you know, we can kind of emerge into the comic books industry together and have a fun time, you know. So yeah, we need to find more talented people. People have real talent that they've spent time cultivating, you know, and putting the hard work into. Not just people because of, I don't know, whatever Twitter bullshit they're into or whatever their political beliefs are. Omega Shenron, $10. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Some of my favorite artists who draw women well: Greg Horn, Scott Campbell, Michael Turner. Michael Turner, R.I.P. dude. He was amazing. Really liked his stuff.
Greg Horn is also pretty amazing as well. I really love his work. I love his recent things he's worked on. They made a Domino book, and he did a few covers for that, and they were incredible.
Depicting the ideal human form is anti-Semitic, though. I'm willing to hear your argument, but I don't really know how that's relevant. Let's see. I mean, ideal human form could be Jewish, couldn't it? I don't know. Is that a joke and I'm just not getting it?
Still trying to guess his daughter's name.
At Nick Capone, we have a character named Vendetta who is cross between Huntress and Mockingbird. So, yep, we love them. Bob and Femforce are our favorite books.
I never got into Femforce, but I saw it was pretty cool. I hear good things about it, but Birds of Prey, I will say that Chuck Dixon's run is one of my favorite runs. I think they're an incredible team. I am not looking forward to this movie because they're going to destroy every member. And like I said in the comments, Huntress is probably my favorite member, and I'm just very disappointed in how they portray her in the movie. Even though the funny part of it is that they casted her perfectly. I think she's an incredible choice. I forgot the actress name, but the costume is just very what the fuck. I'm not to be sexy, but I think Huntress is sexy, but if they're gonna go down a route where they want to not make it too cheesecakey, definitely take reference to the Arrowverse Huntress from the show. I thought that was a decent costume, but yeah, I'm not really happy with how Huntress looks.
I saw promo art for Birds of Prey, and I didn't recognize any of those characters.
Exactly.
They're so changed.
What is is the best superhero / comic book movie? I'm so tired of them, honestly. But if I have to think back to classics, I think the first Superman, Christopher Reeves. I love that.
Spider-Man 2, man.
Spider-Man 2 ain't bad. I'm gonna say the Nolan Batman series. Batman '89 blew my fucking mind when I was 12. So that was a big one. I still love watching it. I think it holds up. It's still a really fun movie. Of course, the Nolan Batman series is great. I think Deadpool was an incredible stroke of genius. The first one, really liked it a lot. Had balls and did its own thing. When they don't try to homogenize these characters into something that they're not, whether that be Hollywood or political messages, they can make a good movie. But sometimes they just end up all Zack Snyder'd out and then stink. But that's my personal opinion. I'm sure you guys have your own ideas of what's good, what's not.
If manga counts, Alita is definitely up there for one of the best adaptations I've ever seen. Because that was an awesome movie. Choreography was so on point. So great.
I'm sure I'm forgetting. There's plenty of really good. Like the first Iron Man is fucking stellar.
Oh yeah, I loved Iron Man.
Kick-Ass was incredible.
Yeah, Kick-Ass was great. Different, had its own flavor. I took my mom to go see Iron Man when it came out because she likes Robert Downey Jr. and she really loved it. And that was like the beginning of the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it was just a solid movie, and it was really well done. It was well balanced. So,
you know what? 80085. The comic is not out yet, but we are in the process of making it. It's gonna be launched on the 16th of October, so stick around.
Yeah, this is the official announcement for it to let you know to be prepared for our official launch date.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, we're just getting the wheels turning. So when it hits the ground running, you guys will know exactly what it is, and you won't be asking a lot of questions. So we'll be doing a lot of live streams promoting this. So this is just one of many.
Wait, hold on. That's sweet. Someone, Carolyn Berg was just like, "How about the Red Sonja movie? That's gonna be a thing." Because that's good. That'd be pretty awesome. But I actually never read much of Red Sonja. But I was more of a Vampirella fan, like another gorgeous character.
Yeah, I like Vampirella because I'm Mordor.
I actually just did. I recently did some sketch cards for Dynamite for Vampirella's 50th anniversary.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would love to work on a Vampirella cover. Or just color the book. Like it's one of my favorite characters.
Let's see.
Ryan Miller, yes, it's called Orgasm Girl. Basically, I'll let Trisha take it away and talk about the story again for those who just came in.
Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. She has the ability to make any man she touches orgasm in the snap of her fingers. It's getting late. I'm already messing up.
Yeah, we're doing good. Let's see. Gamora is my fave. Yeah, I have a little crush on Gamora, man. I love that actress, and I think she's awesome in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It's funny. When I first saw Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't really know what to expect because I never really read the comics. And when I saw that, I was like, "This is more of a Star Wars movie than Star Wars is, than the new Disney ones, And I really like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and she's probably my favorite character. So yeah, Gamora is high. I like green ladies, I guess. I have a green lady fetish.
Green and mean.
Ryan Miller Arts is sold. Yes, absolutely, dude. Back us. This is going to be a fucking awesome comic, and it's going to be good artwork and a great story. You can't lose. Let's see. Black Phoenix says that she would be a great girlfriend. Gamora? Yeah. Dude.
Actually, who would be the best girlfriend? Starfire. Starfire would be the best girlfriend.
You gotta get that alien girlfriend.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, my girlfriend's an alien.
I like that Gamora's feisty, she's just taking any shit. I like that sort of aspect in my latest. Is it getting late or getting laid? I'm gonna have to defer that Trish. I don't know.
Nothing can be not taken sexually on this stream.
Exactly. Everything, right?
Everything. Let's go, guys.
Let's talk about like what upcoming superhero flicks are coming out. Is anybody like looking forward to? What's on the docket for the rest of 2019? We got the new Harley Quinn movie coming out. I'm like very lukewarm about that, you know, because she's so good as Harley Quinn, the actress Margot Robbie. But I just don't buy the movie. It looks kind of like, I don't know, like woke and stupid, and just sort of they like fluffed it up, you know. They toned down certain things, and I mean, I only have this teaser shit I've seen online to kind of go off of, but I'm like, she was the best part of Suicide Squad, hands down. But I don't know if she can hold her own movie. I guess we'll see. I mean, I'd be interested to see that, right?
Oh, Xerox, I'm a recent subscriber to the channel. I'm curious to know why the heroine would need to make men orgasm with the snap of her fingers. What's her background?
Well, she is a boxer who boxes against male opponents and wins by cheating. But then one day, little Sophie beside her gets kidnapped, and she has to use that ability to save her and become a very unlikely hero. So that's the whole background of issue 1 of Orgasm Girl.
Yeah, I think that there'll be time to, if you want to flesh out how that power came to be or what the logistics are behind that. I mean, we don't want to give it all away in the first issue. Like, it's kind of nice to say this is just a situation, and then have room to either go back and explore that or move forward, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Faux show. Let's see. I'm down. Who's drawing it? Well, that would be me, Josh James. I'm going to be drawing the book, and Brian Lee's going to be inking it. And, you know, inker brings a lot to the art that I create, and he's fantastic, so that'll be great. And then, of course, Nick's color's going to make it, you know, fucking shine, so...
And as you can see beside us, they're very, very good at drawing and coloring.
Yeah, that was a fun piece to do, and I think it turned out well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said, this was a fun piece for me to color. Like, initially, I was like kind of not confused, but I was kind of struggling with what the ideal palette would be. I think we talked a little about it, how I initially was like make it like Spider-Verse, but then again I actually used for inspiration, I used a Spider-Verse poster, and I like used some of the color palettes from there and played around with it and mixed it up for this. So yeah, like it was kind of like it was a unique palette. I usually never work, like not usually never, but like I like for some reason I don't really get the opportunity to do night scenes that often. So this is like a real treat for me to color.
Yeah, Spider-Verse has some nice colors too.
Oh hell yeah. You know that you guys know that GIF of like shit, what's his name? Star-Lord, Chris Pratt. You know, where he's sitting at the desk and he makes that face like, oh my god. That was like me, like every like phase of this pinup piece that we did. Like when I saw Steve's inks, I was like, holy shit. And then I saw Nick's colors, I was like, holy shit. That's when making comics and making art is fucking fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and just to clarify, Brian made a good point in the comments. Brian actually did not ink this promo piece. It's actually Steve Fiend. He's a good pal of ours. But Brian will be inking the interiors, just to remind everybody.
Yeah, he'll be doing everything else. We wanted Steve to do it because he did such a good job on this, but he doesn't have the time, so we were like, who else do we know that's awesome? And we thought Brian, so he was on board.
And like, going back to the title, it was actually it was interesting because when it came to like the thought process of finding new talent for this book, we had a few options we went over, but some of them obviously turned it away due to, you know, just that they I guess they just they didn't feel comfortable working on a book called Orgasm Girl, which is cool. It's nothing against them, but I think now we have a pretty solid team. Like,
oh yeah, we're like Voltron, you know. Let's see. Pentacle says, and by the way, I'm sorry I didn't get your joke, man. I guess maybe I read it wrong. I've never understood that the fetish of big breasts. It makes no sense to me. Also, I wouldn't say it's bodily symmetrical. I mean,
they feel pretty nice.
yeah, I mean they're soft, and I mean it's just I think inherently in the male DNA to appreciate, and female DNA, I guess. I mean, big boobs are cool.
Nature's stress balls.
It's where we start out at the bosom, and just part of being a human being. Let's see.
What's Orgasm Girl's bust size? Asking for a friend.
Trisha would know. I think she'd have to answer that question. I mean, I draw it, but I'm not paying attention to if it's like. I guess it's not quite double D, is it?
Probably not double D. Probably in the C.
Yeah, there you go.
If I'm to go by like eyes, just
we'll have to write that into the story somewhere.
Who came up with their power? That would be me. It's all me.
Yeah, the whole concept of this book is all Trisha. I just adding the visuals, as well as the other guys. So this is her idea, and I 100% support it. I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to be fun. It's cool. It's going to be something unique. We need more unique shit. And then Pentacle says, you're glad to see like indie comics growing, and hell yeah. I mean, dude. Things are changing in the industry so fast right now, and you don't have to work for Batman or Spider-Man, and those are all great books. I'm just saying you don't have to do those books to get your name out there. You can come up with your own concepts and be successful, and I support indie comics like 100%. It's nice to see some fresh ideas out there.
Yeah, I think what really got me into indie comics and inspired me to make Sandy was around maybe second year of the Cuba School, I was introduced to a lot of Love and Rockets, and that's like the OG indie book. That was really,
absolutely.
At the time, probably one of the biggest successful indie projects, and it's still running today. It's been out since 1984, and it's like I read those comics all the time, and like it helps me progress with my work. And I watched so many interviews with Jaime Hernandez, one of the main artists for Love and Rockets, and it's so inspiring. Where like, there's so much. I feel like there's more thought. I'm not trying to discredit mainstream comics, but I feel like indie comics and create your own ideas have more like thought put into it, because mainstream comics have like a generalization. So like Batman came from, both his parents died, he's rich, he like, it leaves a lot of room to work with. But I feel a lot of these indie creators really like go down the line and make sure that their character is like perfect, and I love that. And like a person like the Hernandez brothers, they said in interviews how every year they age their character, so they age the character with them to make it more realistic. And I think
that's a really cool idea. I like that.
Genius, yeah. So.
And that means that there's an end to it, which I like that idea too. Why does it have to go on for decades? I love Batman, Spider-Man, and all that, but those pathways have been walked so many times, and it's kind of like, well, what else is there? I mean, the depths of human creativity is endless. And all you have to do is have an imagination to come up with something original, or just a scenario and bring it to life,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, guys. You gotta find your friends, collaborate, get yourself out there, and do your own thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just have to have a little gumption and a little bit of ability to believe in yourself and team up with the right people. Because as Trisha was saying earlier on, we were getting to know each other, that people were just flaking. I think it's because the intent was there, but it's so hard to follow through in something like this because it takes a lot of work. So, once you find the right people and you collectively put your minds together, it's something that, you can do. You can get it done.
Yeah, definitely need that commitment there.
Yeah.
Heroin. Go ahead, Nick.
It would be great to have a crowdfunding equivalent to Cyberfrog, Jawbreakers, and Lone Star that is sexy. So far, there's just been Patriotica, Blue Mamba, and us. I would love to read your stories because so far you have very awesome tastes, and if you ever need help with the Kickstarter or need some extra artists on board or colorist or even like bonus art, I'd be honored. But yeah, like
Boom.
I agree. We should definitely like I would love to see more of like Cyber Frog, Jawbreakers, and Lone Star esque. That's like sexy.
Yeah. Look, that's like, fuck, what's his name? Said it in his song, bringing sexy back, like, what is with this fucking, nobody can draw women sexy, like, women can't be sexy and kick ass or whatever. Fuck that. That's bullshit, Like, we should let's make this campaign huge. Let's show people that it can be fucking kick ass and awesome and original, and not stale. It can be something totally new. So don't buy into that negative message that's going around right now, saying that girls can't be sexy. Fuck that. I know Trisha definitely doesn't believe that.
Oh no. Look at the comic I'm making.
Exactly. Doing a comics. Brian Miller Art says doing a comic with a crew has got to be tough, like finding members. Yeah, I mean, it's easier for me and Nick, I think, because we know tons of creators, because we were in the community. It was more difficult for Trisha, I think, because maybe she was a little bit more isolated and, doing her YouTube thing. But because she put herself out there and talked about her ideas, she found me. So, all you have to do is, like, put yourself out there and tell people what you want to do, and maybe somebody will find you,
Right.
You found me, Trisha. You found me.
Been searching for you all my life.
Heroinberg. Never apologize to the far left anyway. At Dan Montgomery. Yes, it's very sad what they did to Jen. Jen?
She-Hulk.
The Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just mean-spirited horseshit. Don't ever apologize to anybody if you do something you believe in. If you make a mistake, apologize, because that's what a grown-up does. But don't apologize out of fear and bullying. I was bullied really bad growing up, and so I really hate bullies, and I just see them as a bully mob. And so fuck you. Brian Lee says, Kubert School, represent. Hell yeah, dude. Kubert School was an amazing experience, and I got a lot out of it. I mean, I learned so much. We all did. And, if you apply what you learn, you can make a go at it.
It has garnered the nickname, the comic book boot camp, because it's an amazing experience, but with that, there's a lot of dropouts because the work gets pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Treat it as if you have like well over 9 deadlines due all at once, or like relatively close to each other, like each like few weeks, and if you get through it, it just shows that you have the guts to work in this industry, because it's a constant slate of work. So it's definitely not for everyone, but I always suggest if you're really committed in working in being an artist or just working in the comic book industry alone, then I feel like the Kubert School is an amazing choice. Like I do not regret one bit going to that school.
That's good.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a difficult road to journey. I mean, like, there were some really long nights burning the midnight oil to make critiques the next day or whatever, and it was just fun. It flew by, and we all walked out of there like incredibly so much better after 3 years. So
how do I feel about the Kubert School being sold? I work at the Kubert School. I do IT stuff. I also teach the production class with Rob Olorenshaw and Taylor Esposito. The person they sold the school to is Anthony Marquez, and me and Josh have both had Anthony as an instructor. Anthony is an amazing person. He's very passionate about the school, and he's really serious in regards to continuing Joe's legacy. And from what he said that he's going to change and offer, it's really awesome. So I'm very happy where the Kubert School is currently at. So So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, totally agree with you. Like, whenever you hear something's a business is being sold or a school's being sold, you go, uh-oh. But when I heard Anthony was taking over his school, I was like, it can only go up from here because the guy only has the best intentions. He's been a student, he's been a teacher,
Yeah.
and he knows the comic book industry.
Yeah,
and,
he's been an editor for DC. No, was he an editor?
Dynamite. No, he was like, you're right, he was freelance editor or something at DC for a while, like, too.
Yeah, like I believe he edited a couple books for DC if I'm not mistaken. But he, even when he was an instructor, like each class there's a grade system. Like A is passing, C is failing. His class, he didn't even do that. He had an H and a U. The H is hireable, the U is unhireable. And he was such a hard ass on all of us, and I think it was for the better because, like we said, he was an editor for a long time. He knows what companies want. He knows what editors want, like especially. So I personally feel they couldn't have found a better choice for this school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's perfect fit. Brian Lee agrees. Anthony Marquez is probably the best person to take over. I mean, I can't imagine anybody better. I mean, you know.
And they added new staff too. Like I don't know if any of you are familiar with Amy Chu. She's known for her Poison Ivy run. They have Erica Schultz now, and then Taylor Esposito. They're all big name people. And then there's still all the really awesome people like the Jan Gersema, Tom Mandrake still teaching there, Kim DeMolder. Like they have and Fernando Ruiz. Like they have like a really awesome staff.
Yeah, Andy and Ab Cooper's still involved, and of course they got Lee Weeks over there too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a huge cast of legacy creators teaching over there, and it's just it's awesome, badass. I think Orgasm Girl's power is more effective on women because she can increase their ecstasy and passion to give them instant perpetual orgasms, says Incubus Time Lord.
We got theories going on in the chat.
Yeah, we're already getting a mythology going. I like it. Let's see. Skip. Yeah, Kitty Pryde was the hot nerd computer genius ninja that everyone wants. There's conversations going on in the chat, so let's see. I must go work out and do my art lessons for the day. Later, peeps. Thanks, King Crow. Thanks for hanging out, dude.
Thank you so much.
And good luck with your art lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to start winding down, I think, the chat here. We got about, I don't know, like 10 minutes. We'll make it 2 hours. I think that's a pretty good...
Yeah,
that's a pretty good kickoff live stream, right?
Yeah.
Still 10 minutes to get super chats, guys. Let's go. Throw some money in that pot, man. We got to get that Sashi pin up.
Yeah,
here's a really cool question. If you're going to cast Orgasm Girl in a movie, who would you cast?
Oh, that is a good question.
And I hadn't thought about that yet.
Yeah, that would be crazy if that was a movie. I don't know that many redheaded actresses.
Definitely not Emma Stone. I don't like her.
Although I guess they could always dye their hair.
Well, throw some suggestions in the chat. Christina Hendricks. She's a little old. I mean, she's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but she might be a little old for the role.
We need young, fresh blood for Amari.
Yeah,
only the best.
Late teens, early 20s.
Oh, the girl plays. What about the girl who plays Cheryl Blossom in Riverdale, Madison Petch?
Not familiar. King Crow, $2. Good luck with your book, guys. Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Or do that. Really appreciate that. It's awesome.
Yay.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, right. He's a great actor. I love him. Man.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Ariel Winter. Who is she again?
I like the name Ariel.
Oh, she's from Modern Family. She was like the younger daughter.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Ariel Winter. That's a great name.
Yeah, she even has had red hair, so it could work. Maybe, yeah, I could see that working. We guys have her hit the gym for a little while, get those muscles going.
Wait, what about Haley Williams from Paramore? She would make a good...
I could see it.
Yes, get on Sweetcast, of course, but I think EBS is going to love this idea as well as Lapsed Mormon. I don't know Lapsed Mormon. You were saying earlier, EBS is amazing. His cyber, I mean, he's obviously very successful. He's a very charming dude. His streams are fun, but we're not trying to, ride coattails or bark up too many trees. I think we're gonna let this book do its own thing. If he wants to mention us, that's cool, but we're not gonna hound him for attention. But maybe I'll drop a super chat in myself and plug the book here or there or something. But Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, that's I'm sold on that.
Aubrey Plaza. I don't know that one.
She's April from Parks and Rec. She's like kind of quirky but kind of awesome at the same time. Like I crush on her so hard.
And she was in a recent Child's Play remake as well. Yeah, she's an ass kicker. I can see that working. Alexi Veldhausen, what's up, my friend? How are you? Thanks for jumping in right at the tail end.
Oh, thank you,
Roy. Better late than never.
Hey, Alexia.
Hey, Roy. Super chat.
Alexia is a fellow comic creator who made 47 Furious Tales that recently got published via Indiegogo. I believe it was a Kickstarter. Can't remember, but it was successfully funded and came out really great. It's really cool. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for the super chat, Roy.
Thank you.
As a comic creator, loved your comic webcomic vid. Oh, thank you.
Thanks, dude. Really appreciate it.
Hey.
We're that much closer than Sashi Pino.
Heronberg. Nick Capone, Josh James. Hey, New Jersey, we're going to be at Big Apple Con on December 14th in Manhattan, New Yorker Hotel. We should meet up. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I used to go to Big Apple Con years ago, and I kind of, once New York Comic Con started, kind of taking off. I don't know, I went to that one a few times. I kind of stopped going, but I'd be willing to go check it out. I mean, shit, I'm really close to New York City, so why not?
Yeah.
Maybe we can all meet up for drinks and talk about Orgasm Girl.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
Will any of Orgasm Girl's enemies be unaffected by her powers due to the lack of dopamine?
Ooh.
Huh.
That's a good question, actually.
That is an interesting question.
Yeah, there's got to be somebody who's just not affected by her abilities, or at least it's minimized,
I had an idea for a type of peoples who would be unaffected by her ability, but you're just gonna have to keep on reading for that.
Yeah. Encore baby, Incel boy. Yeah. Incel boy. Neuter man? Maybe. It doesn't really have a ring to it, though. Black Phoenix 77, you've never been to a con? They're all over the place. Where do you live, dude?
Yeah.
Get online and there's lists compiled of all the cons per state, and you can just find one relatively close to you and go to it.
I need to go to more cons myself, but you gotta get friends together for that type of stuff, and nobody's ever free.
Yeah, I mean, it's too bad you can't make it to New York Comic Con, because I'll be down there on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, Jake Beal! What's up, Jake? Jake Beal, I've actually helped him with his awesome book, Beatdown Girl. I did some of the colors for that. I collaborated with him a lot. He's actually doing the upcoming chapter cover for Sandy, which I'm coloring, and it came out awesome. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. So,
hey.
Jake's really awesome.
Yeah, another Kubi in the house, man. Thanks for showing up and supporting. We appreciate that, of course.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah. So, I guess we're going to start winding down because it's been 2 hours. So let's get a final round of questions and maybe throw a super chat in there for good measure.
Questions, guys, questions.
Okay, this one's for Trisha. How do you come up with personalities for your characters? Question mark by Pius Naya Cujo. Trisha?
I think a way that most people come up with characters is they think about different quirks and personality traits that they either see in other entertainment or in people that they know. And then they kind of mix and mash and come up with scenarios, sometimes what I like to do is I like to like storyboard and dialogue some things out just to understand better how characters would talk to each other and how they would have real conversations. Because I think that's a good writing exercise, just to like.
I also like, even on my personal behalf on making characters, whenever I come up with personalities, I try and think of how each character either counteracts each other, or like how does one character affect another character. So like in my story, the main antagonist is this girl named Priscilla, and she's Sandy's quote unquote best friend, but she's very jealous and evil towards Sandy and wants to like ruin her. And I kind of diagrammed out a whole like web of how each character's actions like counteract and like cross each other. So that also helps me figure out the personalities of each character.
Oh yeah, you definitely can't have two characters that are too similar. It's
Exactly.
like the same thing in D&D. I play role-playing Dungeons and Dragons, and every time we have two edgy Sasuke characters, I always get upset because it's so awkward to roleplay like that. Just doesn't work.
Yeah, like, yeah, when there's like, and then obviously in D&D terms too, like you always have that one, like my character is a vampire rogue, and she's kind of people just call her stupid bitch. That's literally what her is. So like, don't be a stupid bitch in D&D campaign. That's all I'm saying.
Was there anything you changed at the last second for Orgasm Girl? I think we just did it like a sweep through the script and like changed a couple little things to just kind of just be careful. Like I said, we were walking a really fine line here. Other than that, we didn't change. I mean, like maybe small details in the outfits or something like that, but not really anything major, right?
Yeah, like different joke directions, took out jokes that we thought might have, passed the line or weren't mild enough. People be scared away by certain things.
Yeah. We would be careful that it's like a certain, like we don't want to step on anybody's toes. We don't be like too risque per se yet. See, maybe things could expand in the next issues depending on how it's received. But the first issue really has to land. So yeah, we did a little tweaking of the script, but the heart and soul of it's still there. So.
Oh, I have a question here. Nick, how do you write a villain as a main character? Did you ever write something like this? It's been an idea that I've been playing around with. I'm obviously thinking of making. I actually want to make two prequel series off of Sandy eventually. One based off of supporting character, and then one based off of the villain Priscilla. I think. This is now my personal opinion. I think it's easier to write a villain than it is to write a hero, because there's so many different ideas of what affects the villain and to make them evil. And I feel I feel essentially the villain usually is the main part of a main character of a story. Like I feel like the Joker is definitely a main character in Batman's world, essentially, because they always cross paths at some point. Mm-hmm. So I think, when it comes to just writing the character, just like I said, just start off with like a web of ideas and like give them one personality trait or like one event that happened in their life, and then divide it up, like what good came out of that event and what bad came out of that event, and then try to bring it down, add more ideas, and connect the dots. And once it meets up together, then that you've written a villain. So I think you should definitely just try that. And obviously it's a lot easier if you make a prequel, pre-existing characters too, because then you could add that in there as well. But that's usually how I come up with like my villain characters, and if I am making the main character.
Right.
Cool. I think there's another question for you, Nick.
Any advice on starting a webcomic? I'm working on something that I need pointers. Yes. So, Sandy took a while to like really get traction and attention, but I think I actually reached out when I just started making Sandy. I reached out to a really famous webcomic artist, someone that I personally idolize. Her name is Giselle Legassi. She's the artist of Menage a 3 and Extra Sisters. And her story is great because she had such a successful webcomic to the point where Dark Horse Comics picked up her book to print. And to me, that's winning, like, big time. So I asked her for a few pointers, and she told me straight out that don't feel like you're going to don't isolate yourself to one, like, if it's, like, Webtoons, if you post on Webtoons, don't feel like you have to only post on Webtoons. You can post on Tapastic. I post my comic on Twitter, Tapastic, Webtoon. Like, I give myself options. I'm constantly promoting my comic on Instagram. It's like, be annoying. It's okay to be in this industry as an artist. If you're promoting your work, it's okay to be annoying. Don't feel like you're gonna be a bother to someone, because if you're gonna be a bother to someone, they can simply delete you. But you're only gonna draw in more people. So I think combine that. And also webcomics can go different ways where you can get slice of lifey and very quick and fast paced. Like one webcomic I work on with my buddy Christian, it's a D&D comic, but we keep it at like a 4-panel basis. Sandy is more of a actual sequential comic book kind of format. So you could work it both ways, but I feel just starting out, definitely get the idea solid, get your character design solid, and even make character sheets for it. Definitely try your best to be consistent, and if you get a few dollars, if you save up some money, even get some artists, like well-known artists, to contribute to your book in some way if they can, or that also is really helpful as well. But for now, I definitely worry about getting the story solid and then posting it everywhere, and that's pretty much what I did. So hopefully that helps.
Excellent.
I hear yaoi stories also do very, very well as far as webcomics go. So there's always that.
Brian Lee says, I've had more success on Webtoons than Tapas or Smack Jeeves, but I submit my webcomic on all of them simultaneously. That's good advice. Yeah. Try many formats, try many, just experiment, see what works for you, see if something catches on, and elaborate on it, I guess, right?
Exactly, and like, I know people try and like kind of hinder themselves, like they stick with certain genres so they think they would sell better, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be a group of people that like your comics. Like, I actually have a small following who like my Sandy comic, and I'm really grateful for them, and it's building every day. Like, people are falling in love with the character, so it's really humbling and amazing to see. And Jake said, don't forget the furry comics.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Well, guys, let's wrap this up because it's getting late. We've been on for 2 hours. I went by so quick. And, man, it was such a fucking awesome first live stream. Holy shit. I mean, couldn't ask for anything more. We got some super chats in there. We got to talk. We got to laugh. We laughed. We cried. But more importantly, we got the idea out there. We got the concept out there. So now you guys know Orgasm Girl's coming. It's coming in October.
Around. Thank you so much for tonight. Glad meeting all of you. And yeah, stay tuned. This is going to be an awesome book, so you wouldn't want to miss out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I am typing more too. It's 3:12 a.m. here. Dude, you're awesome. Thanks for sticking with us, man. Yeah, I'm a night owl too, so I totally get that. But let's go ahead and call this one a show, and we'll be back with a new live stream real soon to talk more Orgasm Girl. Any final words, guys?
October 16th, be there. That's when we're officially going to be launching this book. Just a reminder, Josh is going to be penciling this book. Brian Lee, the awesome Brian Lee, is going to be inking this book, and I will be supplying the colors. And yeah, so stick around.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, check out R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast on YouTube. That's my channel. Subscribe over there.
Oh yeah, you can link in the chat if you want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also going to put my Sandy comic in the chat too. Feel free to check out. If you're on Webtoons, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, thank you guys for all coming to the stream, and thanks chat. I'm glad that you did not respond by wanting to hang me. This is a very weird comic, as I've warned you all. But I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun to actually have it out there and have you guys reading it. And I'm sure everyone will have fun. We'll have good time. Good things.
All right, guys. So we'll see you next time with some more artwork, guys. All right, later.
Alright, see you all.